We all make mistakes. Some of them are pretty stupid mistakes. You know, the people we thought were going to be great leaders and turned out to be idiots. The dress that we bought, thinking that we looked fabulous in it, got home, put it on, looked in our own mirrors and thought, oh no, this doesn't work at all. Makes me look huge or, you know, whatever. There's so many reasons why we can be resentful of ourselves, that we can actually resent ourselves. I have a tiny reason for waking up this morning feeling a bit resentful. And I hasten to add, I threw my shawl over my shoulders, made myself a cup of coffee, and in my gym jams walked down to the end of the lane, whereupon I emptied the mailbox. So my antidote to the resentment that I felt this morning, which I will tell you about shortly, was immediately counteracted with a beautiful, beautiful letter I got from America. I love these letters from America. There's a lovely song, Letter from America. I'm going to play that today. Anyway, I'll talk a little about that in a minute or two. My reason for being resentful this morning was that I got some paint yesterday to cover those ridiculous big patches on the wall that I didn't paint. So it's all my own fault anyway, you know. Mostly resentment can be traced back to our own silliness, stupidity, you know, pig-headedness, whatever. And you may also ask what that little lump in the bed is there, but I'll get to that in a minute too. I bought this paint, which to me looked like the right colour, because I didn't have a clue what shade of ivory or cream or whatever it was that I bought. Anyway, it's a beautiful colour, but as you can see, it doesn't match. So the message from the universe is, Colette, time for a new colour on these walls. Stop messing about, trying to patch up things. Splash on some new colour. So message received, over and out. Anyway, such a silly reason, isn't it? To feel resentful with oneself. You know, resentful that I didn't get it right. Actually, I did get it right, because I've got the message now. It had to come through that particular postage system. Right, now, for a little bit of fun. A little girl came in this morning because she missed coming in last night. She was out on the tiles. And she came in meowing at me when I opened the door, just after I made my coffee. And then she had something to eat. And then I came looking for her, and I looked in here and I thought, oh, hang on. Little Beautykins isn't on the bed. Where is she? I think she's had such a rough night out on the tiles. Where do you see this? Look at where she's gone, look. Little oh, hope she's... Beauty Bearkins! I'm going to have to leave this... I'm going to have to leave this folded back a wee bit, because I'd be frightened in case she smothered to death. Oh, she doesn't look as though she's smothering, does she? Right, okay, I'll have to try to prop this up a little bit. I'd be happier if she was out of there, but anyway, I can't argue with the Beautykins. I'll just leave it like that. So Jack says, yeah, you don't let me in there, Mummy. I could do with getting in there. No, Jack, you're far too big. So, anyway, so much for resentment. Isn't it silly, really? Isn't it silly to beat oneself up? So look at the gorgeous morning out there. Now, oh yes, Jack, oh yes. So I'm just going to close the door. Come in, Jack. As I want to show you, I've done the colour washing. I'll just quickly show you this, because it's not my intention actually to do another bedroom video, but anyway, there we go. Look at that. And I've hung my jewellery, or some of my jewellery, some of it's quite crazy and gorgeous, just up there. But you can see now the little shelf is all colour washed and tied in. And you can see the colour on the walls is certainly not tied in. Anyway, look at, we live and learn. You know, that's what makes life interesting and lovely. Is that beautiful learning curve that we're all on, knowing that we never actually reach the end of it. So, anyway, buoyed up with resentment, I trundled off down the driveway to get to the post box. Coffee in one hand, no camera, because I was so buoyed up with resentment I thought, I'm not even going to bother making a video today. I'm just so cheesed off. I've got everything wrong, wrong, wrong. You know how it goes. Silly, silly, silly. So Jack and I went down the driveway. Come on, Jack, we'll go outside. Because the first thing that changed all the energy was just simply opening the door and stepping out, which is what I'm doing now, just stepping out. Look at this, isn't it gorgeous? Ah, breathe deeply. Breathe in all that morning energy and just breathe in and breathe out. Look at those little clouds just drifting by. Drifting by. So, down in the post box, there was a few letters and a special one from America. My letter from America. Do you know, it's amazing to think, isn't it? You know that within the past, I suppose 150 years, thereabouts, there's been so much mass emigration from Ireland, and I suppose most of it to America, Australia, New Zealand, I suppose America and Australia, and Canada, of course. And now there's this, well, I suppose I'm one of many little connections now, but there's this little link, thanks to the internet and social media, from this little part of Ireland, where many people would have emigrated from because the land is so poor. Poor in inverted commas, may I add, because we all know that's a load of old bunkum. People emigrated from here in search, actually not of a better life at that point, but just in search of a way of keeping hearth and home together. So it wasn't even, you know, for a better life. They just didn't have a life here. So we know, of course, that the emigrants to America, all of them brought many good things. They also brought many bad things. And I suppose the worst and probably the most abiding one in terms of bringing the wrong gift was a sense of dominion over the land, which of course the native peoples never had. That sense of dominion, and I like to think that I have dropped that one completely from my own life, you know, and understanding of life. Anyway, so the letter from America. Now I'm going to read it because, and I hope Janet, aka Raven Lady, you don't mind me reading it. Dear Colette, this is Labour Day 2017. Dear Colette, your videos are life-saving for us nature girls. Don't change anything. I hope you have no difficulties with this cheque. Janet has sent a cheque for the book and the map. Thank you very much, Janet, and for your donation, by the way. Please send a map and book inscribed in remembrance. Anyway, sorry, that's a bit personal, so I'll leave that bit out. Okay, my 50 acres I worked on for 27 years, an old growth oak forest. I worked like you do. Please hold a good thought for us, as we are now only 6 miles from Crater Lake fire. The smoke is choking us all, even the plants. And caused by white man's evil forestry practices. I have to agree there because we have similar stuff going on here. My father's people were on this land for over 10,000 years. There were great forests then, lush, and never burned out of control. My mother's people sailed from Edinburgh, but were Irish Viking gingers, and maybe a little Scot. I really can't express in this stupid English language, there are no words, what you have done for all of us, especially me. And send total love your way, Raven Lady. Well, you know, there's a few truths spoken in that letter. And I think the main truth is that white man, and here I include myself, I include all the people I know, myself as I used to be, by the way, not as I am now, I like to think, because I have observed and I've learned, and in that I have changed, and many of you have, and I know that. But the idea of dominion over nature, the idea of enslaving nature to be able to take from her, to take and take and take and take and never give anything back. Do you know, it's an easy enough problem to identify. It's an easy enough problem to rectify. I've done it here. In my own small way, I've done it here. Things need to change. Change is good. Change is more than possible. We need to protect what we have, and we need to grow more of it. And you know, stop obsessing over whether we've got the right colour paint or not. That does put things into perspective, you know, the thought of a fire burning out of control only 6 miles away, and the devastation that causes. My heart goes out to anyone in America who has been suffering through the dry heat of summer and what has happened with the forests. And also, of course, now with Australia coming into the summer, My heart goes out to those who are suffering from lack of water. But we must plant, plant, plant. We must plant like our lives depend upon it, because they do depend upon it. And that's been my motto from day one. Plant like your life depends upon it. It really is to incorporate that sense of urgency into all that we do, and stop obsessing with whether we have the right colour paint or not. I mean, that's really been, you know, a kick up the derriere for me this morning. It really has. It's brought home to me. It's brought home to me how much we not just rely on Mother Earth and nature, but how we are either a part of it or we're fighting against her. Well, quite frankly, I'd rather be in Mother Earth's camp, because she's going to look after me, she's going to nurture me, and I feel very nurtured just standing out here, listening and looking, and you know, Jack does too. Don't you, Jack? So thank you, Raven Lady. Thank you for your words, because they've actually made me touch base this morning. And you know what base is? Mother Earth. So from Bealtaine Cottage to all of you out there, to all of you, bless you, each and every one of you this morning. Bless you. And you know, whatever you feel is wrong in your life is tiny. It's a tiny problem in comparison to everything that we hold dear. Bless you all.